Hello everyone, I'm Captain the Warlord, and welcome back to another Rome 2 online siege battle. And today we are back at it with a 3v3 siege. We are going to be seeing Puledeva today, which I do believe we have seen it once or twice before. This is a really good battle. I was in this. I'm playing as Egypt. It's a really fun one. I think you guys will enjoy it. And yeah, so let's get into this. It is quite a long one, so I will get going here. But yeah, I'm going to be commanding Egypt. I'm going to be bringing 2 units of these Levy Thurial Spears, I think 6 units of Carrion Axemen, 3 units of Thorax Swordsmen, a unit of Sobek Cultist, a Rhodian Slinger, and 3 Cretan Archers. So I'm going to be much more of a support player compared to my allies. Oh yeah, and I have a unit of Ptolemaic Cavalry and 2 units of Light Horse over here, which is, you'll see what we can do with that and a little bit later on. And of course, some Wallardy. Going over to Iceni, we have Assassin. He's going to be bringing, I think, 7 units of these, what do they call it, Swordband? And then he's got, I think, 5 units of these Chosen Swordsmen, 4 units of Britain Slingers, a unit of Chariots, 2 units of Britain Scout Riders, and a Heroic Riders General. Sorry, I always get that confused. Then going over to Colchis, we have Flo. He has 2 units of these Colchian Nobles. Very, very good hoplites. Extremely cost effective here. I'm actually going to put it on slow-mo because they are getting pretty close. He's also got, I think, 6 or 7 of these Cartly Axemen, 4 units of Eastern Spearmen, and a unit of Hippeus Lancers for his general. Then he just has a bunch of Hillmen up here that he's going to use to kind of be as a frontline unit. And then going over to the attackers, we have Carthage being commanded by Dogu-Khan. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. We have 3 units of these Gallic warriors. I think actually 4, and 2 Italian swords. No, 2 Scutari, some Italian swords as well hidden throughout here. Yeah, no, it's more Scutari. Oh, he's brought a lot of Scutari, it seems, and a ton of Libyan infantry. Him and Seleucus both brought a lot of frontline units, and he's also got 3 units of Cretan archers and a unit of General's Bodyguard for his Jenny. Going over to Masacely, we have True Roman. He has 4 units of these Numidian heavy skirmishers, a mixture of Desert Cohort and Desert Legionaries. Let's see, yeah, 2 units of Desert Cohort up here. I think the rest of them are Desert Legionaries. He got some Gatatuli Tribesmen over here, some Numidian light infantry as well, some more Gatatuli Tribesmen, some armored Desert Cavalry, and a Numidian Noble Cav, or no, armored Numidian Riders for his general. And then last we have Seleucus being commanded by Hannibal Barca. He has a very interesting army. I think I like it. He's got 3 units of Styria Spears, and he has 4 units of Hillmen, 4 units of Syrian Archers, and then just an absolute spam of Thorax Swords. And we don't really have, I guess, we have Cartly Axemen, and I don't know, Thorax Swords might be pretty dangerous to us, but we'll have to see here. And then a unit of Silver Shield Swordsmen for his general. So I don't think there's no pikes on the battlefield, which is always good to see. So yeah, I'll just get it going here at normal speed. They're pushing up the tortoises here. So they all decided to attack from one area. Oh, I did miss, there is an Eastern Spearman here. It's just up here to draw this tower fire. And I missed this as well, an artillery piece from the Masacely player. I did miss that. I do apologize. But yeah, they're just going to be pushing up their tortoises here. They all decided to attack one area, which can be good and bad, because at least you know that you have support of your teammates when you're attacking from one area. But the bad thing is you don't spread the defenders out really a whole lot. So this could go either way from them. If they get a good synchronized push going, then it could work out really, really well. But like I said, you're going to need a synchronized push. You can't just go in alone, because you will be able to be singled out. We have all 3 factions are able just to send some support over here, and it would be more than enough to help deal with the first couple men that they send in. But yeah, they're not going to want to just push in a couple units at a time. They're going to want to just absolutely push in here, because if you look, what we have holding here is Hillman, some Swordband, which is pretty good, and Levy Thurio Spears, which are not really a infantry unit at its primary use. So yeah, you definitely want to you want to be organized, and you want to get a good push going here, so you can kind of break the kill box and push the defenders back to normally right here, and right here. So let's see how that works out. Over here, they're just trying to snipe this one artillery piece from Iceni, but he's doing a fantastic job of kind of dodging those shots. He did lose one of his crew, but he still has 3 crew, and you need at least 2 crew to operate it. So yeah, he's doing a really good job there and microing his arty. And then I think I saw Colchis. Did he move? No, I think he does move his arty here because there is some really nice shots. Yeah, but they're just continuing just to push up some more siege towers. They also do have some tortoises over here. This is to be used to obviously break into the citadel. A good idea would not to be push them in right away, but to do it a little bit later in the battle once we're just like focus microing on this area, and once they have a good push going. Once that happens, then they can start pushing it over here and start putting pressure in the citadel. Because, well, this citadel is important, but this isn't the victory point is what I'm trying to say. The victory point is right here. This is where we have to hold at all costs when it comes down to it. So yes, this citadel is good and it can provide some good cover, but if you need to, don't hold this if you're overly stretched out. It can, I mean, obviously there's these really nice towers and really nice positions for slingers, but yeah, very crucial position, but it's not 100% necessary to hold it. But yeah, like I said, it's pretty crucial to the defense though. We have artillery here firing down the line, getting into some of these cheaper infantry. Yeah, absolutely ripping through there, bringing us down to 128, 151, and 148. So really nice job. He has some Eastern Spearmen still holding up here. They did their job though. They drew all that artillery fire. But those Italian swords will cut these guys down eventually. So that is something. So they will start to neutralize this tower. So that's not exactly good. A good counter to that though is if you hold space, you can see this circle right here. I'm trying my best to kind of circle it. That's where the range of the tower is. So really all you have to do to counter that is just move you guys right outside that tower range, and then you won't be affected by it at all. So yeah, just a little thing to keep in mind if you're ever in this situation. So I do have some Rhodian slingers putting some fire down onto these Numidian light infantry. They're really lightly armored. If we can get them to rout off here right away, that'd be really good. Just one less unit we have to deal with, but he is going to get them out of there just in the nick of time. And those Italian swords, yep, they did break those Eastern Spearmen. But yeah, they did their job. They held for a little bit. But I think they are now starting to just neutralize the tower. Yep, I think, no, they have not neutralized it yet. Really? I don't see it shooting. But now they are gaining control of it, so yeah, they will have that tower under their control very soon here. But does have to be careful with this unit of Italian swordsmen, because he has tortoises pushing up over here, and if he traps this unit up here, that's going to be a pretty big loss. I mean, it's only Italian swords, but still, you don't want to lose them too early on, because they can do some really nice work. And now Carthage is starting to flood in here with some Gallic warriors. A pretty solid unit. Definitely, I would always bring these guys as Carthage. They're just really good frontline units for the initial fight, and they get the job done. Very, very cost effective. These guys, I think they're a little bit worse than Galatian swords, but still very, very good. Galatian swords probably being my favorite frontline unit. Cheap frontline unit, that is. So yeah, so they barely are still in the range of a tower. He needs to move back. Oh, you know, he's still in a range of it pretty nicely. He needs to move back to where this arc is in order to get completely out of the area of control for that tower. And it looks like Carthage is going to start pushing in over here, which, I don't know, I think he should definitely group up a lot more men. I think Seleucids needs to send up more men. Macesli does have some more up here, but he probably should be sending up a little bit more as well. And that artillery already getting some nice shots off here, getting a couple kills onto his sword band and Britain slingers. So really nice shot there. That artillery is going to be a pain in the butt to have to deal with. But yeah, this Italian sword, oh no. Yeah, I think he's going to lose this Italian sword. I don't see him being able to get it out of here with enough time. I don't know why he brought it right here though. He was fine putting it down there. Maybe he was going to use their jabbies, but yeah, he's lost like half his unit. I don't think that was worth it. I really don't, but he is drawing a lot of jabbies, but it's from Hillman, so I don't know. I think that is definitely a loss on an investment there. We do have more Macesli pushing up here, so now we just really need some more support with Seleucid, but this is not how you want to do it. Just engaging piecemeal like this you're not really going to gain a whole lot of progress, and you can just be focused down. And that's kind of what these Javies are doing. They're just absolutely pouring into these guys up here, which I don't really think they need to, and get some really nice Javi volleys into these guys. Already down to 113. And I'm just going to bring my slingers right here and fire into the flank of these guys, and I should bring them down really quickly as well. So yeah, he's going to pull back his Hillman so we get a better angle. I don't think he meant to pull back that one, but yeah. This front line is going to hold for a very long time if they continue just throwing like waves like this. They need to get like a good solid push going with proper heavy infantry, not some Hillman. Gallic Warriors might be able to get a lot done, but it probably won't get enough done in the end. And yeah, Hillman breaking off a unit of Numidian light infantry as well already. More Hillman pushing up. These guys losing numbers very quickly due to support from the sword band and other Hillmen throwing in their Javies. But yeah, look over here. They're already breaking. Down to 61, broken. And these guys are going to break really soon here as well, because these Hillmen are throwing some really nice jab support into the flanks of those guys. Now Iceni, without any sort of skirmish resistance over here, Iceni can just bring up his unit of Britain slingers and have them fire down into the backs of the attackers as they're moving in. So the attackers, especially Seleucid and Carthage, the Numidian player can't really do a whole lot about it. They need to get their archers up here ASAP, because they need to push away our skirmishers, because we're just forming a nasty kill box here. And you can see just this unit of Gallic Warriors melting so quickly to this slinger fire and javelin fire. It's really not good. And they are starting to make some progress breaking a unit of Hillmen, but there's a unit of Swordband there to fill the gap. And I guess these Hillmen are being surrounded here. And he sees an Kolka sees an opportunity with the Hippeus Lancers, because there's no real resistance here. He's just going to get a charge off into the Numidian light infantry, kill quite a few of them, and he can kind of bounce around here a little bit, but he does want to be a little bit careful, because these guys all do have Javies. Now this is a pretty threatening unit right here, Guided to the Tribesmen. Whoa, okay, that was really loud. It would shake my screen a lot. I really like these guys because they're like naked swords in a way, and I think they have like some sort of unique Javi abilities because they can throw them really far. I think that's like something to ambushers, because they are an ambush unit. But yeah, we are focusing those guys down as much as they can, because if they get a good charge off, let's see here, they have a 36 charge bonus. Yeah, they can just absolutely decimate a ton of guys if they get a proper charge off, and that's kind of what they were able to do there. But you can see just so many of their routing units going back and forth. It's just, they need to really get a solid push going here. And there goes another unit of the Numidian light infantry. Now the good thing for them is they are using up a lot of our ammo, but it's on cheap units. It's not really like we're not using archers, we're not using the elite units, we're using our cheap units, and we can really afford to do that at the moment. I think the most expensive unit that we're using right now is Hippeus Lancers and Rhodian Slingers. Other than that, we have Swordband and Hillmen still holding the line. These Levithurios I think are out of ammo, but they are still starting to pull up with the more elite infantry. They have some Scutari coming in here. Definitely a unit we're going to want to focus down. So I'm going to charge my Thurio Spears into there and put them into square. Then have these Rhodian Slingers fire at the flanks of these guys. And it should hopefully do a lot of damage. And the artillery is relentless, actually getting a couple kills there and some cavalry. And yeah, just absolutely obliterating the back of that Scutaria unit. And that's a unit you don't want to lose that quickly at all. They're a little bit more expensive than Gallic Warriors. I think they cost like 600, and they can get hundreds of kills. So yeah, I want to be careful with that. And I think this is a little bit preemptive. I think there was some light horse over here that died. I think kind of caught Iceni off guard. Maybe not, I don't really know. I think he needs to wait to send up this assault, because Italian swords will easily lose to chosen swords, and he's not pushing up this one against the Britain slingers. I don't know why. And yeah, this unit's just going to be surrounded. And yeah, I mean, we're starting to thin out here definitely, and I think the Numidia player has the right idea with this. He's just starting to set up heavy infantry because he realizes this light infantry is just not cutting it for them. And look, we're really thinning out. We have we have the front line being held by Hillmen, Eastern Spearmen, more Hillmen, and it's really not looking good. All the Hillmen broke over here, so he is starting to push up some, I think, Cartley Axemen. Yeah, he's pushing up Cartleys to the front line. More shots coming down into some of the Skutari, not really doing a whole lot of damage. But yeah, we're having to commit a lot more to this. And I think really what needs to be done is Carthage, instead of hiding back here, needs to send up some Livian infantry, some Thorax, some Seleucid, and then they can get pushing here and probably break through. We do have some breakage going in the middle here. I'm going to support that with some Galatian swords, but it's only some Hillmen and Eastern spears. They held out for a very long time and did their job. But look at this, yeah, Italian swords over here breaking already. I think he did, yeah, he popped battle rhythm, so good use of the general there. I don't really know what the point of that was. I think he should have waited just a little bit longer to assault over here, but maybe he thought that we weren't paying attention, but Iceni was doing a really good job managing this area. And yeah, you can see over here, we're actually have some sword bands starting to break, and the Masacely player is starting to put a big toll onto our defense here. We don't really have a whole lot defending right here, so we just have a ton of skirmish forces just putting some fire on down to these desert cohort. And these Rhodian slingers are doing really good work. Yeah, up to 269 kills. Of course, you gotta have the magic number there. Still a big cultist. The reason I brought these guys is because if you look, I don't think we'll be able to see it, but if you look under its base morale, it has the encourage ability, which gives away a morale boost, and then 2 over from that, it has the scare ability. So it increases friendly morale, and then it decreases the enemy morale. So it's a really, really useful tool, and I think that it's definitely, it has javelins, and they aren't terrible in melee. So definitely, I think 1 unit of Soviet cultist is really good to bring. They're kind of like hex bears in a way, but they're not focused on scare. And yes, I just have some Thurio spears and carrying axemen absolutely unloading into these desert cohort here, already down to 62 guys. And then these Cartleys are going to be enough to finish them off. Getting a little bit of friendly fire, but these Levy Thurios have done their damage. I think they're up to like 100 kills or something. Yeah, 141. Definitely did a good job there. But yeah, they're starting to pour into this area and starting to get some heavy skirmishers in here, and this is a good time to fall back. So what I think he kind of committed his Cartleys in a little bit too late, and now I'm just gonna have to charge in some out of ammo carrying axemen to save his Cartleys. And yeah, they're just gonna do a full out retreat. I'd rather sacrifice a unit of depleted Cartley axemen, deplete carrying axemen, very similar names. I'd rather sacrifice a unit of carrions for a relatively healthy unit of Cartley axemen, which are very good infantry. Oh no, he's walking this unit. It just took a pretty nasty back volley there. But yeah, we are going to get out of there pretty well. I mean, he got 3 units out. This is going to be the 3rd. It's really damaged, but at least it's, you know, still a unit, still alive. I guess that's really all that matters. And yeah, so they're going to already starting to get a little bit of push going over here. There are some sword band from Iceni and some slingers. And if you look here, I think these Iceni slingers, 126 kills already. They have 126. And there's not really any skirmish force still that can counter them. So because the Cretans and the Syrians are still back here, they're not pushing them up, which is just an absolutely huge mistake. There's nothing we could really do to four Syrians and 3 Cretans. All we have is 3 Cretans and I think 4 Eastern archers. And slingers don't really have the competing power with any of those. Only Cretans do. So that's really just a kind of a bad thing there. I think he was thinking about charging up this Cartley axeman, but decided against it. I don't know exactly if that was a misclick or what. But this unit carrying axeman is actually breaking some desert cohort here, which is pretty nice. But carrying axeman, I think they got 100 kills. That's all right. Probably would have liked to get a little bit more with them, but they did their job there. But yeah, if you think about this area here, all we really lost was just a couple like trash units like Tillman and stuff, and we did a lot of damage. But if you look, they still have so much more elite men. It's really only Masacely that's hurting right now, which I guess is what their job was, just kind of get in there and get it done, and they did a fantastic job at doing that. And now he's moved up his Numidian heavy skirmishers, and he's absolutely laying the fire down onto Iceni. I think he's already causing some of the, these sword band have absolutely no protection against that amount of javelins and are losing so much men so quickly. Some Scutari are breaking there. But yeah, these Numidians, they cost like 500 something, and they're really resilient to archer fire, and they have, I think, like decent melee stats, so they're definitely good. But I normally don't see them get past like 100 kills if you're just firing into the front of your unit. You have to be a little bit more creative with them. But we did manage to push them back. We have some Cretans up here, some artillery being shot at them, and some slingers fire at them from up here. These slingers still going uncontested. What this Numidia player should do is just line them up right here and get a volley off into these guys, because I'm sure they still have a good bit of ammo. Colchian Nobles holding effortlessly against the little depleted unit of Desert Cohort. He could have kept them back and used their Inspire ability a little bit, and then there was a unit of Eastern Archers that broke here. I think he thought that the Cretans couldn't quite hit them, but the Cretans could obviously kill them pretty effectively and actually broke them. But they might come back. Still have 47 guys left. I would imagine that they still might be able to come back and fight. But now these Britons, yeah, he is starting to fire at them. I think though they are almost out of ammo, and he did break them, and he's throwing a lot of ammo at these guys. But 226 kills, I'd say that's pretty worth it. He got so many kills on the front line here. Definitely a good investment. And Thurio Spears also throwing in their ammo at this sword band down here. So he's doing a really good job with this swords band. They aren't really going to do a whole lot of damage against the more elite troops, so he's just kind of throwing them in against Thurio Spears. Not really a whole lot else he can do, but he's going to be pulling up with the chosen swords now, and that's going to be a really big help. And we do have a push for the Citadel now, so this is going to be something that we're going to need to break before they can even get here, and that's going to be where my cav comes in place. It's going to be really crucial that they don't even get a breach point going here, because that would open another front. We already have 1, 2, 3 choke points to hold. We do not want to hold another one, because we are choke pointing them off here, and we feel that this is the best way to win this if we do want to win, because we've taken a lot of casualties. If you look, we are down a lot of guys. It didn't really seem it like when we were fighting the battle, but Kolkus lost a lot. Iceni, he's really just down to his like more middle tier elite troops now. So yeah, and the artillery is absolutely ripping us up. They killed like 30 of my guys here. I think he's at like over 150 kills at this point. Let's take a look. He did a phenomenal job with these guys. Yeah, oh my gosh, absolutely racking up in kills. 200, really good artillery work there. Better than I could do. I absolutely suck with any sort of artillery, really. I think he got a good hit. Yeah, some Cretans there. Getting some carrying axemen, so really nice job. But I think for the most part, the Briton slingers are either out of ammo or just completely depleted. Let's take a look. That unit has some kills, but is basically gone. These guys are out of ammo, just trying to draw some shots. And these guys, I think they're the ones that were positioned right here earlier. They are also out of ammo, I think, at this point. But 201 kills, definitely really, really good. Now it's a little bit of a Mexican standoff here. Some Swordband now going to charge in against some Thurio Spears. Swordband, oh, God kind of teleported away there. Swordband probably will lose that. Just because Thurio Spears outnumber them so significantly, but Thurio Spears will feel a little bit of punishment there. And these guys are throwing in some jabbies, probably getting some friendly fire, so you might want to hold his ammo there. But over here, I am moving out my cav, and I'm just going to charge into these Galatuli tribesmen, because I don't even want, like I said, I don't even want to risk them getting into the walls and making that breach point. And to charge alone, and it's a really light infantry, so even light cav should be able to do a pretty nice job at breaking these guys, at least killing quite a bit of them. And I'm going to want to get over here and get these guys to break their siege equipment. And I don't think he quite sees this, but the point of positioning artillery here was kind of to keep away his cav in case he does get any ideas to charge in. Yeah, now we are charging this Hillman, and my tall mate cav is going to absolutely flatten this unit of Galatuli tribesmen. So yeah, I think just about now he's going to start noticing that he is under attack over here. I'm going to do my best to just shatter this infantry so it doesn't come back and have the chance of breaking through and coming back into the wall here. So yeah, I think he's just going to kind of give up with his cav, but you can see he has another unit of cavalry coming over here, so he's going to group up and then attack, counterattack us here. So yeah, these hillmen, they won't stand up too well, but against prolonged melee with some light cav, they probably will win. But tall mate cav, they have no chance of beating them. Tall mate cav are really expensive, and Okay, they're kind of questionably overly priced, but still they'll get the job done for the most part. And a really nice pincer move with this hill against this Hillman, and that should be enough to break them here. But he does have his cav coming in, and I'm gonna have to start firing my artillery at these guys and do as much damage as I can, and absolutely ripping through there. I'm gonna want to kill off as much of these guys and try to ward them away from coming over and attacking them, because they lost like 20 cav there. And yeah, just gonna continue. I did have a unit of light horse kind of absorb the charge, but like I said, I'm not gonna give up until I can break these Hillmen, and then I'm gonna retreat. But we do have the Colchis Hippeus Lancers also moving out, and I think his cav would actually lose to Ptolemaic cav. I'm not entirely sure, but he's already taking too many losses, and he's gonna pull out. And that is this area successfully warded off from an attack, and now we're just free to pull away with our cavalry. Over here, the push is still continuing. He has some Italian swords that are just being finished off. I think these slingers, those slingers still had ammo. That is not good. Yeah, only 19 kills. Definitely gonna want to get those guys out of there, but they're absolutely being melted. Oh my gosh, that's like 3 units of Cretans firing into that 1 unit of Britain slingers, and now they are gone. So that does kind of suck. I think he just kind of forgot about these Cretans. But yeah, those slingers are now gone, but he has at least 1 more with ammo, and these guys are in a prime position to get a lot of kills. And also, I think that's the last of our slingers, because my Rhodians are also out of ammo as well. But yeah, they're just really grinding this area over here. I don't really know why they're choosing to just go in this choke point. If they start putting some pressure over here, that's gonna kind of prevent us from sending reinforcements and keep this one choke point from getting overrun. But Iceni has now moved his light cav and his chariots outside, preparing to make some sort of sneaky attack. Are these guys scythed? No, they are not scythed chariots. But the cool thing about Britain chariots is that I didn't actually know this. They're really comparable to scythed chariots, and they have more men. Like, their stats are better, and for the most part, and they have more men in the unit. But I think because they don't have like the scythe on them, that's like kind of like a hidden melee attack or something. I think there's something there. But Britain chariots are probably the best chariot in the game, so very, very cost effective, and we'll see how he's able to use them there. Yeah, we have this citadel really nice and protected. Like I said, Britain slingers. I have some Levi Thurios right here, ready to throw down some javies and, against any attackers coming here. So yeah, we're really just trying to ward them off from an attack here. And if this artillery still had some ammo, he could be getting some really nice shots into the Carthage player, or just giant blob right here. Now, we do have some Cartleys just firing in. No, Carrions firing, breaking some Desert Legionnaires that were already depleted. But he's kind of doing this little like weaving formation. I really like this because it allows your guys to get a direct shot into the flanks of your enemies, and there's not really a whole lot they can do about it. They only could counter that if they sneak through a unit right here, but that wouldn't go unnoticed. I think these guys have used up all their javies, and 90 kills, I assume. They have taken some losses, but I think for the most part that's with all javies. And then after they're used up all their ammo, he's just going to put them in shield wall and throw them into combat. Yeah, we are going to be sending some more support over here, sending some Thorax. I think, yeah, he's sending some Cartleys over. So yeah, we're all just doing a joint defense. Everywhere, yeah, you look, we have units from every faction. Iceni, Cartley, Colchis, Egypt, Cartleys, and Iceni. So just really good teamwork, and there's really nothing preventing us from just absolutely blobbing up over here and defending this as a team. And because they don't have any artillery, they don't have any pikes, and they're pushing this one choke point, they really need to spread out their attack. But yeah, nonetheless, they're just going to continue to press on through here, which could work out for them. Yeah, you never know, but most likely pushing one choke point never really works in your favor. And yeah, he still has his cav over here. I'm gonna, okay, I have the mini map down for some reason. I'm gonna try to use the mini map. I never use it properly though. But yeah, just an absolute grind. This is a fight that Iceni will probably do pretty well in, and shield wall. And he's using his general abilities really well, just using battle rhythm and refreshing them. And with support of some like a lot of javelins, we will be able to hold here with limited troops for a very long time. And I think the enemy kind of think that they can just break through here, but that's not going to be the case. This is going to be just absolutely terrible for them to break through. So they need to kind of think of something else here. But if you look at how much men they have left, they have all their archers still remaining. Seleucid is untouched. He still has all these Thorax swords out here. His general, Silver Shield Swordsman, really nasty unit. But he just doesn't really, like, he hasn't really committed anything. I think he really needs to. And they're playing overly defensive here. Carthage has just a front line of Libyan infantry. He needs to be sending these Libyans off. Anyway, he has some Nova fighters. I didn't actually see that. But he needs to be sending these guys off over here and doing work at this choke point. Or, I know it's going to be tough to push here, but you have to put some pressure here. You have to make the defenders kind of just get on their toes a little bit and have to spread out their resources. If you allow them to just pile all the resources into one area, then you're going to lose that one choke point. You're never going to win in a straight up grind with the defenders at one choke point. It's very rare that you will come out on top of that as the attacker if the defenders have all the resources that they need to win. So yeah, I think I did hear. No, he still hasn't moved these guys out. But yeah, let's get some cinematic shots here. Some Egyptians, Numidians, somehow Iceni Britons are in here. Colchis also making his way here. This is a very beautiful game though. I never really take time to do cinematics as much. You can see the arrows flying overhead. It looks really nice. Yeah, I think he's firing into his chosen sword band. But yeah, like I said, these chosen sword band will hold out for a very long time in melee. I don't see this push here as a good one. I think that, like I said, I've said this many times, they really need to start pushing over here if they want any chance of breaking through. Because you see, we have so much support just flooding over here. Iceni has everything positioned here. We have some Cartleys in reserve over here. Some more Carians. I'm gonna mix that up so much. Yeah, some more Carians in reserve over here. We do have this Briton Cav moving out here. I think he does forget about that and it gets cut down here. We'll take a look here. I'm pretty sure he moved it out, not expecting the attackers to see it. And let's see, yeah, this Armored Desert Cav is gonna catch up to it. And that's kind of crazy that they caught up to it that quickly, and it's gonna cause them to stay into melee. And then this Armored Numidian Rider gonna get a charge off. Yeah, they're dying so quickly, already down to 44. It is only a light cap, so it's not a huge loss. But yeah, good play there by the attackers of being aware of what's going on around you. And yeah, still just absolutely grinding them down here. I see he still has a lot of, I say a lot, I see he's probably starting to get worn down a lot. I think he has some guys over here, but he's really just committed everything to his choke point. He's absorbed all of these heavy, Numidian heavy skirmishers ammo. He's absorbed like a lot of Thuriel spear ammo, and he's doing just an absolutely fantastic job at just being a brick wall and not breaking in the face of the enemy. So really nice. And you can just see the amount of just javelins coming in from both sides. And it's, I don't know. I really don't see it. Like, I know I've said this many times. I think the attackers are making a huge mistake here. Never just push into one area like this. And then this is also a really big mistake. Archer blobbing. Never archer blob. 2 units of Cretans like this in a normal formation. I probably should spread them out a little bit more. But 2 units of Cretans like this in a normal formation will absolutely destroy an archer blob like this. They will get so many kills and trade so much more effectively. Syrians already down so much more men. I think I've probably lost like maybe 20 men. These guys have already down a couple. These guys lost 4. So yeah, it's definitely not a worthwhile trade for the Seleucid player. And 69 and 80. So oh my gosh, yeah, absolutely just mowing them down. And he's moving up more archers, but he is going to fall back. So he does realize that blobbing isn't exactly the way to go. So yeah, I think that must have just been a mistake. But another tip, I don't know if I try to say this as much as I can in my videos. Never archer blob. It's so ineffective. You would think like all your archers could fire, but once they kind of overlap each other, they their rate of fire just gets all messed up, and only like 3 or 4 guys from the unit will fire. So just be careful of that. And what I'm doing with my out of air carry and axeman is I'm just cycle charging them into these desert legionaries, because I also learned this recently. The way charge bonus works is, I think for 30 seconds after you get your charge bonus adds on to your melee attack or weapon damage. I can't remember which one it is. So 21 charge bonus, that would make my I'd make my melee attack go up to 49 weapon damage for 30 seconds. No, melee attack, sorry. And then I have 28 weapon damage, so yeah, that's going to be really good. So cycle charge whenever you can, because it's definitely always worth it. It will make a unit like Carrying Axeman really do a lot better against a unit like Libyan Infantry and Desert Legionaries. Let's take a look at some of the kills here in this front line. 79, 109, 51, 211, 158, 24. Yeah, so we're just making them bleed from this area out here. And I think at this point the Masacely player did leave, but he doesn't really have a whole lot left. He has some cav. I think he's all out of infantry other than this unit of Numidian spearmen. But yeah, he's basically gone, and he has this artillery out here. But we're just gonna break his general here. Have a unit of, I still have all my archers, just target them with just mass amounts of arrows, and if we can kill his general and break him, then that will cause the Masacely player to probably have really low morale, and the rest of his units won't really be able to do a whole lot. But Carthage is doing something really good right now. He's using a siege tower. This is what Seleucid should be doing as well. He's using a siege tower. He's going to bring it around here, and he might actually discover these chariots, but he's going to bring it around here, and we have nothing defending over here. So if he can successfully do that, that's going to be really good for them, because it's going to open up just once again that one more area that we're going to have to defend against inevitably. He's kind of just charging up his Numidian heavy skirmishers. Not really necessary. He's going to charge up some Galatian swords and clean them up. But yeah, this has just become an absolute blob. Seleucid is starting to commit to it a little bit more, and he does have his archers firing. They're firing at some Cartly axemen just at the front. Not really worth it, so I think we're willing to just let those Cartly axemen take a little bit of a beating. Unless these guys are on heavy shot, because they're doing quite a lot of damage, well, without really firing a whole lot. But I'm just going to move my Cretans up. And if you look, I mean, they've lost so much in that skirmish fight. These Cretans are basically, I think they're out of ammo. They have 2 Cretans with ammo left, and 120, 119, but 73 and 53. My Cretans, if they're in a good position and get the first volley off, I should be able to win in a skirmish with them. And he has a unit of 73 Syrians. Now they're going to be down a lot more, again, unless the archer volley misses, and which it did, so that's kind of sucks. Now we're going to have some Cartly axemen, some nice AP going into the fight here. Definitely going to be much needed reinforcements. And yeah, some sword band also throwing in their javies. They're just absolutely pushing for this area now. This is going to get really laggy if I zoom into here, because there's so many dead bodies and so many active units, and my recording software as well. It's just going to absolutely be a lag fest. And all the projectiles, that is really nasty. Yeah, I don't know exactly what they're doing. And here we have the Iceni chariots activating, charging into these Thorax swords. He's just absolutely ripping through them. I don't understand chariots in this game. I'll be the first one to say that. I would think that would absolutely crush this unit of Thorax swordsmen, but I think it's because they have like a lot of armor. They only took like 20 casualties, actually more like 30. And these chariots aren't really able to get a lot of kills against them, and just taking a nasty jabby volley there. I think you need scythe chariots to do really good work, or you need to use chariots while they're engaged against enemy infantry, like Britain chariots, that is. I think that's really how you should use them. I don't really know. I suck with chariots, and it just looks like he's not having a whole lot of luck here. Yeah, you got 80 kills. Probably should just retreat them for right now. These Thorax swords are aware, and they still have javies, so yeah, probably want to get them out of there. Yeah, and another bad thing is these guys have really bad morale, down to 9 guys. They're already breaking, so yeah, that is just not good. He does have his general out here though, so he might be able to save them. He does have them rushing out. He's gonna hopefully be able to bring these guys back into the fight. Yeah, I think I did move my Sobek cultist over here, just as another, like, you know, bringing that morale debuff and just increasing our guys' morale, it will help a lot in the long run. Like you see a unit of 53 Libyan infantry here, breaking. They are tired, and they're also getting that morale debuff from the Soviet cultists. Sorry if you can hear anything in the background. I do live on a main road, so if you do hear a loud car going by every once in a while, I do apologize. But yeah, the AI is kind of pushing through with their cav there a little bit, but there are some Cartleys here. I'm just going to charge in my Soviet cultist. Like I said, not terrible in melee. Those guys will do a good job when it comes down to it. But yeah, the Cretans, they're in a good position. If they do decide to challenge my Cretans, I will be able to get the first volley off and absolutely obliterate them. So they're really skeptical on moving into here, which is it's quite reasonable. You do not want to push into an archer fight where you know you're gonna lose. If there's one thing I learned, definitely don't engage into a fight you're not comfortable with, and you will lose. If you know you're going to lose a fight, don't engage into it. Find a way to manipulate the enemy into your advantage. I know it's easier said than done, but there's always a way out of the situations you might think that are just impossible to get around. Like shotgunning artillery, that's a lot of things that people think is impossible to get around. It really isn't. It's just really tricky to actually counter it, because a lot of times players can defend with it really nice. And he did manage to bring these chariots back, which is really nice. And he's just going to charge into these guys to get some free kills. That actually will be enough to give him a chevron. Since this artillery crew is so small and it costs like 700, if you have any unit of cav or something, any unit just kill an artillery piece, they're basically guaranteed a chevron, which will increase their fighting stats quite a bit. You can see here, if you look at the XP meter, it's shooting up very quickly. With like every kill, it's going up. Yeah, it's going up like every kill, which is not something you can say a whole lot with other units. And these chariots going back in. Oh, yep, they're all dead. But I think something we can guarantee now is that these Storax swords do not have any javelins left. They just took nasty amounts of Pila from these chariots, from these Storax swords here, and now they are gone, which does kind of suck. But yeah, they were gonna break. They're wavering. They just were basically done. There's really a whole lot more he could do with them. And over here, I'd say the battle is definitely going in our favor a little bit. We're definitely winning here, and all they have is 2 Thorax swords compared to all of this here. We're definitely doing a good enough job at pushing them back. He does have this unit of Libyan infantry going up here. There is a unit of a sword band to protect that, but I'm just going to move my archers over here and fire at the back of that unit, and that should all be good. But yeah, they still haven't made any effort into pushing in over here. Kolka still has, like, from the beginning, I think he lost like a lot of those hillmen, but he might have lost like one more unit of archers. But he's only committed 2 units of Cartleys over here. He really hasn't lost anything since the beginning. So he's just kind of been sitting around. There's not really a whole lot he can do, and it's kind of the same with just everything here in like the middle, which I guess is good in a way for the attackers, but not really, because we still have so much resources. And if we lose this area, that does kind of destroy our defenses. But we have plenty of support over here. We should not lose this area. And we do have a unit of Thorax, so it's kind of exposed here. So I'm going to be throwing in some Cartleys ammo into the flank of these guys, and then have these Carrions, dang it, and then have the Cartleys charge back in. But yeah, that's going to bring these guys down to like 90. In support of those Soviet cultists, these guys are going to be routing very quickly. And I think for the most part, NVIDIA is gone. They still just have some spearmen, but that's not really a whole lot left. And do we get some good archer volleys off into these guys yet? Not quite yet, it seems. But yeah, I think Iceni for the most part is down for the count. He has his general, some slingers, but he's done a fantastic job in holding this area so far. So yeah, he didn't really do anything bad here. He did really, really well, and so props to him for holding this area for so long. And the Cretans trying to get into the back here, trying to get an advantageous position, but they aren't going to really be able to do that. I still have my archers here, and we're just going to put some counter volleys, and then Kolkus also moved up his archers and started cross-firing his Cretans, so now these guys have lost quite a bit. and don't really have a whole lot to show for it. A little bit of a lag spike there. I do apologize about that once again. But yeah, they have nothing outside the city at this point. So yeah, they have moved in everything. So this is all they have left. At the same time, we don't have a ton left either. Balance of power is very even at this point. And all they really have is heavy infantry and archers, which is a pretty nasty combo. Definitely not the thing, not really what you want to see. Heavy infantry can do a ton of damage. Thorax swords, they aren't the best infantry in the game, but they can do a lot of damage when there isn't units like sword followers or Oathsworn to kind of put them in place. But we are going to be able to clean up this unit of Libyan infantry here very soon. Already down to 90, yeah, 80, yeah, 82. Yeah, they're losing so many men very quickly. So there's no really any need for more infantry over here. So I'm just going to bring them back to this fight and make sure that this doesn't break here. But our front line is holding for right now. You can see here some Cartleys, chosen swords, and some thorax swords still holding there, and some more Cartleys being moved over in support of that. So yeah, this area won't be breaking anytime soon. They have to get a push going here though if they want to win. Like, they have 4 units of thorax swords, 3 units of Libyans, not even doing anything, and there's a unit of spears there, but that's not really going to be able to do much anyway. But this unit of Libyans is breaking, being shot in the back with heavy shot. Won't be able to last too long to that. And yeah, now our archers are going to be able to move back over here and make sure that these Cretans aren't going to be moving up and doing anything stupid. Carians continuing to get some cycle charges off onto these thorax swords, but these Colchis Cartley Axemen are just going to reform a new line, and once this breaks, they'll just, I don't know if these guys have ammo left, but if they do, they'll be able to get some nice jabbies in there once we kind of pull back here. So yeah, a nice fresh line put in here, and we are finally getting a push in the middle. This is what I've been waiting for. Some thorax swords going to face off against some Libyan infantry, it seems like. I think Libyans are a little bit better, but it all depends on the situation here. I am going to be able to get the first Javi volley off onto these Libyans, and I'm also going to get the charge off, I believe, as well. Because I think he was lining them up to fire some Javies. I know it looks like he got a charge off as well, so yeah, it's going to be a pretty even fight. But we do have some slingers up here that's going to help even that out a little bit, and some Eastern archers positioned perfectly right here to put some shots into the backs, not quite the backs, but the flanks of these Libyan infantry. Going to be doing some really nice damage against them. And over here we are falling back, and these Cartley Axemen unloading some of the Javies into the thorax sword that are just kind of waiting here, not quite microing them well enough to push them in. But yeah, these, oh my gosh, these chosen sword, man, how many kills? 164, still holding on, doing a really good job. But this flank over here, I think it's safe to say we're probably going to win it, unless they send up more support, but I don't really see any more of that coming in. There are some noble fighters here. I probably should get them going somewhere as well. And I did turn around my artillery because I did see a massive skirmisher blob here, but I'm really bad with arty. So like I said many times, I almost got a hit there. But I am almost out of ammo with these guys. I'm just going to throw everything I do have at them, see if I can kill any of them. But the Britain slingers should be enough to finish them off. Let's see here. That was a pretty nice hit, killing at least like 5 or 6 of them. But yeah, these Britain slingers, even though they're inferior, that's the word I'm looking for. Skirmishing it, they will be able to win because they have the high ground, and they was absolutely tear these Syrians to pieces. I have moved my cav back into the city because I don't really see any options out here. There are some Koreans that they're here, but he has his cav, he has some silver shield swords protecting it out here, so there's no real point in keeping my cav out here. I might be able to do some better with it in the settlement. And we have broken this unit of Libyan infantry thanks to this unit of Eastern archers that's just throwing down the support. Going to be killing some retreating guys here. So next, we're just going to move on to the next unit of thorax swords here. Kind of an awkward charge. There was an attack order there, but very weird charge. Some of these Cartley Axemen kind of firing into the flanks of these Libyan infantry. But somehow I am winning that fight. I don't know exactly how. Maybe these guys are putting... Oh, okay, yeah, he is shooting with these archers here, so that's probably why. And I think this Slusa player is now out of ammo. The last unit was archers breaking, and the rest of them are in combat. I think these Levithurios, yeah, I did move them back because they were getting shot at by these Assyrians, but now that they're moved back, I'm going to be able to get these guys up here and get some jabbies thrown down at these guys. That's 17 kills right now, so let's keep an eye on them. But yeah, really just a brawl over here. But the Cartly Axemen are superior to Libyan infantry, I do believe, so they will be able to win this. And I think they do have shield wall, so he should be using that if he has the option to. But he's just, I don't know. We have more support if we can throw it. If we need to have that thrown over there. Sorry, just getting my words a little bit confused there. But yeah, now I'm just going to be able to move up my Levithurios and just shoot down at these guys. And it'll just be absolutely just kill them as quick as possible. And there are some, oh, they do have some ammo left. Okay, so he moved up and fired at the Hippaeus Lancer General. No, I thought that was like his last volley, but yeah, gonna be firing down there. These Britons still have ammo, firing at the flanks of these guys, along with some archers from down here. And we're gonna, I think I was just cycle charging with my general a little bit, and we're gonna get a charge off into these guys, and we're gonna try to break through this formation here as quick as possible, because we almost have it. We have 1 year of Thorax Sword and another year of depleted Thorax Swords holding here. And these Colchian nobles, they'll hold forever. There's no chance of these Thorax breaking through here, especially with the support of Tower and the Levithurios up here. How many kills they getting? Pretty nice kills. They got like 10 kills since the last time we saw them. A little bit more than that, actually. I think 15. But Silver Shield Swordsmen, they are a genuine threat over here, though. Cartly Axemen will not be able to hold against them, and they're being really heavy pressed by all of these Thorax Swords, so we're probably going to want to do something with that. But the Cretan archers have moved up, and I'm just going to focus them down with my archers and hopefully kill them off as quick as possible. But Iceni managed to get his guys, his cav through here. I did as well, and now we're just going to clean up. There's not really a whole lot this Carthaginian bodyguard can do against a full unit of heroic nobles, and oh no, heroic riders. Heroic nobles are the infantry version. Yeah, just charging into these archers now. Now we're gonna get a rear charge into these infantry. So yeah, it's pretty much over for the defenders. For the attackers, I think it's pretty much gonna be cleaned up. Heroic rider is gonna get a rear charge into these Thorax swordsmen. Also getting some jabs in with these Thorax into the flanks of these guys. But yeah, they're going to be cleaned up. Getting a nice jabby volley with the mercenary noble fighters into the backs of these heroic riders, bringing them down quite a bit, but not quite enough. Galatian Sword is going to be charging into the back, hopefully cleaning up the rest of these guys, but they are starting to break for the most part there. And over here, starting to rout, they're going to need to send up some noble fighters as their last unit of infantry to this area. And we don't really have any infantry reserve as of now, but we're just firing in with whatever we can with the archers. But I'm basically out of ammo at this point, so we're going to need to clean up this area before we can even move over here and clean this up. Oh yeah, but we're going to have all these guys freed up here, and we can just surround these guys, send more support here. That's if they don't mass rout, which they probably will pretty soon here. Carthaginian general is going to try to get a rear charge into my general, but I'm going to be able to get a counter charge off, and Ptolemaic cav will just absolutely just shred general's bodyguard, and that's what they're doing there. So yeah, I think my general, 364 kills, doing really nice. 105 on heroic riders. Really good job here. This was a great teamwork siege. Really happy with this one. So yeah, big shout out to Iceni and Colchis for just being really good allies. Allowed for me to play a pretty nice support Egypt, as I brought a lot of like carrying axemen and I brought good archers. Didn't really bring too much frontline infantry. But yeah, this is gonna mark the end here. Heroic riders, a little bit choppy. I don't really know why. Whenever I play the game, it's not choppy. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of the heroic noble fighters there, and just these silver shield swordsmen left, but they are also breaking. So yeah, as the end of the replay, we can check out the battle results here. If we look here, I did get the most kills, but that's only because I was the support player. The kills don't really say a whole lot about how like I performed. I think Assassin and Flo did just as well. So yeah, really good teamwork here. But we'll take a look at Flo's army. Really good kills with 2 units of his archers, but the other 2 kind of got killed off before they could do a whole lot. 117 on a general, not bad. Colchian nobles just held for so long. Some hillmen getting good kills, 70, 67, and Cartly axemen, 154, 188, 185. 81 and still had most of its men left. So yeah, really good job there. My army. Let's take a little bit load in here. Good, okay kills with my one of my archers. Didn't even really get a whole lot, but for the most part, okay kills. Cav did all right. Carrions did okay. 170, 142. That's pretty good. 199 on Galician swords. That's basically just because they cleaned up those thorax swords at the end. 141, 62. 363. That was pretty good. I think that was against like a lot of like cheaper units, so not really anything good there. Carthage here, his archers, one of them doing okay, but the other two not so much. Libyan infantry 183, that's pretty good. 113. Noble fighters just broke before they could do a whole lot. I mean, he got some good kills on Gallic warriors. 102. Excuse me, 174, 184. That's not bad at all on those Scutari, and 107. But some of them just kind of broke before they could really get a whole lot of good damage done. True Roman, getting the second most kills for the attackers. Already doing amazing. His Cav, not so much because they kind of charged in at the end there. But Skirmishers doing okay. 103 kills, that's not too bad. 130 on Desert Cohort, okay. 104, 101. He really started to push there, so it's kind of surprising his army got as much kills as it did. But he played a really pivotal role there for the attackers and getting past that initial kill box. And 139 on the Numidian Lights, that's not bad at all. Seleucid's archers just didn't do too great. His hillmen, they're hillmen. I mean, you can't really expect a whole lot. His general broke without really getting a lot of kills. And his Storax swords, 87, 26, 46, 47, 30, 43, 210, that's really good. 161 on Thurios, and 105, that's not too bad. Yeah, just wasn't really able to do a whole lot. Alright guys, if you enjoyed the battle, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for future content. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. So, peace out.